Months ago, I asked sa aking IG stories kung ano yung mga things na you wish you learned earlier in life. And yeah, for this video, I will be allotting this whole video para basahin yung mga sagot nyo. Because this was supposed to be in the episode with Edray, but then sobrang haba ng video namin. Parang umabot yata ng more than an hour nung time na yon. So I decided na gawin na lang siyang isang buong video. And I'll just comment sa mga sinagot-sagot nyo. Yung mga iba dito kalokohan, yung mga iba dito sobrang seryoso, yung iba naman dito uh, things that I can really resonate then with my experience. Ganyan. And I'm really happy to see responses from my students and also my friends who are in different stages of their lives. So, ayun yung gagawin natin for today's video. And yeah, wala pa akong masyadong lighting kasi nasira yung lighting ko na isa. Kaya ganito muna. So, yeah, I hope this is okay. And kakagising ko lang almost. Well, almost. Yeah, kakagising ko lang. I'm having my coffee now. Uminom. Let's start with the response of Patricia. Gusto ko yung ano, sige, mag-feeling at PTT underscore YY. Ang realization ni Pat ay malamig pala sa Baguio. Fun fact, pumunta kasi kami ng Baguio neto. Like, super duper random. And months na rin nila ni Keith noon. Tapos parang tinawag lang nila kami out of nowhere. Tapos biglang nagulat na lang sila. Nahala pumayag sila. So, I have a vlog about that. So, ayun yung time na yun. And during this time, hindi ko alam kung anong ganap ni Patricia. Bakit siya nag-shorts lang? Tapos pagkarating sa Baguio, lamig na lamig siya. So, ayun. So, I'm starting this vlog with that experience with Pat. At nakakatawa dito kasi noong nag-shorts din si Kit para may kadamay si Patricia. Next is from Forest and Fields. So, this is Kuya Arnel. And ang dami niyang entry dito sa realization na to. I don't know, parang ginawa niya akong diary. Pero, yeah. Hello, Kuya. Ayan. So, Kuya Arnel is an instructor at the Agricultural Systems Institute. So, maybe some of my students kilala siya. Nagtuturo siya ng NSTP and some ASI courses. Ayan. So, ang sabi niya, aralin maayos ang statistics courses, which is actually true. I feel like I really fell in love with statistics nung nag-aaral ako ng Stat 162. I was really afraid of math courses, to be honest, nung pumasok ko ng college, to the point na when I was in BSABT, may Math 25, di ba? And I feel like for some, madali pa yung Math 25. And ako, wala akong idea about kung ano yung ganap doon, etc. And if I will look back at my senior high school grade ng pre-calculus, I feel like mataas naman yung grade ko noon. Like, 97 something? Mga ganun din ako sa pre-calc and ano. Pero, I do not have trust sa sarili ko when it comes to like math, and I felt like mas mahirap na siya, and sikat pa yung sinasabi nila na iba yung mathematics sa UPLB. So ayun, natuwa ako na nung nag-shift ako, wala na yung Math 25. Ayun. So stat naman yung pumalit, and I feel like I really love research to the point na yung statistics, since it can already be applied agad-agad dun sa research na ginagawa ko noong time na yon. I took Stat 162 when I was in third year. And ayun, like sobrang natuwa ako to the point na ginagawan ko ng content habang lesson namin yon. Meron akong series on that sa Sprout of Philippines about statistics. And ayun, nakakatawa na aralin ng stat kasi makikita mo na agad siya kung paano siya may apply. Although ang dami niyang numbers, ayun, natutuwa ako. And feeling ko with that foundation ng stat, kaya madali ko rin naaral yung isa sa mga sinuggest sa akin ng isang panel ko nung masters, which is PLSM. So, Structural Equation Modeling siya. And madali ko na siya naaral kasi I felt like I am already familiar with some of the basic concepts ng statistics. So, maganda na aralin talaga na maayos yung statistics courses. Aside from that, meron pa sinabi si Kuya Arnel dito, which is masaya ang Core 234, pati Agri 112. Agri 112 is Agri 192 sa batch namin. Kami ang first batch ng K-12. So, binago yung mga course titles. So, Agri 112 or Agri 192. So, para rin siyang stat, actually. So, medyo nagamit ko rin yung stat 162. And to think na pinagsabay-sabay ko yata ang stat 162, and Agri 192 and 195. I feel like pinagsabay-sabay ko yun. Or sunod-sunod. Kaya sobrang na-found yung knowledge ko on statistics through those three courses. Ayun. Tapos, masaya ang HOR 234. HOR 234, lagi ko sinasabi to, I really love HOR 234. It was the most productive course of my master's coursework to the point that we have presented a lot of papers from that subject to international conferences. And I really love how our faculty in charge really let us decide on the specific things that we need to do during that time. It gave us the sense of authority dun sa mga ginagawa namin experiments, and at the same time, the freedom to study what we really want. And during this time, we really leverage kung ano yung mga expertise ng mga groupmates ko. I have two groupmates here. One is from the Institute of Plant Breeding during that time, and one from post-harvest horticulture. So, considering our expertise, wherein sila ay more seasoned researchers na than me, doon, nagamit namin yung mga expertise nila and also their facilities. I really applaud Kuya Gilbert for, dahil sanay siya sa pagsukat-sukat ng mga stuff since siya ay para sa breeding, sobrang bilis siya mag-data gathering. Nagugulat na lang kami ni Ate Daph na, hala, tapos na siya, ang galing. Tapos si Ate Daph naman, since she is very knowledgeable about the ginagawa na sa lab, like since she is a researcher, meron na kaming access sa moisture meter, mga microscopes, etc. So, ang dami na agad. And I really love working with them and I really enjoyed my time with them. Magcha-charge lang ako. And so, 2, 3, 4 pala, kakaklase ko dun si Kuya Arnel. Actually, 9 kami nun and feeling ko marami na yun for masters. Kasi ayun yata yung pinakamaraming naging classmate ko sa Horty na side. Kasi, ayun, karaniwan ng mga classmate ko, 5, mga ganun lang, 5, as in super limited lang. And ito na yata yung pinakamaraming classmates ko noon. And I took Hort 2, 3, 4 first semester ko of master's. So, para kami naka 30 units noon. Pero, masaya kasi sobrang productive ng course na to. Yan. So, masaya din ang ecophysiology. Kuya Arnel, tama na ang science. Tama na ang science. Pero yeah, actually, masaya naman talaga mag-aral ng like deeper science. Masaya mag-aral ng science. Lalo na if gusto mo talaga siya. And, yeah, kudos. Kudos for realizing all of this stuff, Nakakatawa. Like, ang dami talaga niyang shinare. So, this is Zur. Jean talaga yung name niya. He's taking BS Bio. Tas genetics yung major niya. Sasaya ka na sa 3 kesa mas 5. Well, actually, I experienced this sa Chem 40. During my Chem 40, as in, wala ako sa classroom. Hindi. Nasa classroom ako physically, pero my mind was not present. Ganon. So, if it makes sense. Like, lagi akong tulog sa Chem 40 kasi ba naman 2 hours siya. So, 2 hours, tas 10 to 12. So, it's either inaantok ka pa or gutom ka na for lunch. Ganon. Ganon yung levels ng Chem 40 ko. So, during this time, half of the semester, tulog lang talaga ako. Tapos half of the semester, parang nagising na ako. Nasabi ko, sige na, seseryosohin ko na to. Ito yung nag-iisang course ko na tres ako. Sobrang saya ko na nung nakuha ko yung tres kasi I felt like ang parang pinag-aano ko na lang, ang parang pinag-pray ko na lang during that time is 4. Kahit 4, kahit mag-removals ako dito, go lang. Nung nakita ko na tres ako, as in super duper napaldo akong message ako sa prof ko nung time na to. And sinin lang niya ako. Hindi ko alam. Baka marami na siya nare-receive na ganong message. Pero napaldo akong message talaga ako. Na, oh my God, thank you sa tres. Imagine, first 2 exams ko, bagsak na bagsak talaga. Like 40 plus lang yung scores ko. So, hindi ko rin in-expect na makaka-stress pa ako dun. And sa laboratory part nito, bagsak ko talaga yung exam, like 42.5 yata ako sa exam. Tapos nagulat ako na 1.75 pa ako doon. Kasi siguro pinag-aralan ko rin yung next na exam. And during that time, parang mataas yung score ko sa isang practical exam. So I feel like nahila siya. So next is at Mark Glendale. The Lord won't give me any problems I can't solve. So yeah, I feel like things really happen for a reason. Problems will always be there, And I feel like there are some problems that, like a societal problem. Let's say, for example, inflation. So inflation for us, it's an external thing. Pero we do not realize that it affects us. Say for example, yung rice na binibili natin dati 10 pesos lang, 8 pesos lang, ngayon tumataas na. So that external factor affects us on a micro scale. Yes, there are problems that will always be present. And I feel like there are some problems then na hindi na natin kailangan mag-dwell dun sa fact na yon, pero we can speak out about it. And some of those things are political. So it doesn't mean na kapag hindi tayo naapektuhan ng mga bagay na yun, we will not speak up na about them. Yeah. So there are a lot of people out there experiencing the same problems that we have, and experiencing a lot of problems beyond our experience. And yeah, I feel like this is a great platform then to remind everyone na nagle-listen na tong podcast na to vote wisely this coming 2025 elections. So yeah, I know wala pa naman ako masyadong maraming pero to my friends, to my students who are listening, yeah, although some of the problems that some candidates are standing for do not personally affect us, just think of our farmers, just think of our fishermen, just think of the people from the LGBTQIA community, the people who are struggling just to be seen, the people who are even beyond what we are experiencing. So, ayun. So, vote wisely, guys. Gusto ko yun doon napunta yung sinabi ni Glendale, pero yeah. The next one is from Huazile. Discipline, not just a concept, but as an act. I still don't know how. So, siguro this goes dun sa part na disiplinado tayo, not just on words, but also in action. And I feel like this will always be a process. You know, in discipline kasi, I feel like it's a continuous process. That's why I really believe in Kaizen, which is continuous improvement, na you cannot learn discipline with just one snap. And what matters most is how you work towards it. Let's say, for example, if you want to adjust your sleeping patterns, hindi siya, okay, natulog na ako dito ng 7. Like, may hirapan ka talaga and you will be pressured. If kunwari ang body clock mo talaga is madaling araw ka ganyan, tapos gusto mong mas paagahin. So, it will gradually shift. So, hindi siya isang ganunan lang. And there will be times na yung discipline na yun, possible na mawala ulit siya. So, perhaps this is more of a mindset na, okay, kapag babalik ka dun sa luma, what is your way, paano mo i-shift yung mindset mo towards going back and going through the process again. So this goes with a lot of things: studying, doing physical things, exercise, etc., diet. So discipline is not just a one thing; it is a continuous thing that you need to abide every day. I feel like ganun siya. And we also have one here from also one of my students, Maria Joanna Eri. So, Ria, ang sabi niya ay actual healthy compartmentalization. So, it feels like this is a general concept, right? Napakahalaga ng compartmentalization. I can still remember that I have a whole walk around the campus with one of my closest friends, Ange, if you're listening to this, na parang pinag-usapan lang namin yung compartmentalization, na sobrang importante na meron kang compartmentalization sa life mo. Say for example, the things that you have, you know how to compartmentalize different areas of your life. Let us say for example, when I was struggling in one area of my life, I do not bring that fully sa isang area ng life ko. So I had that moment, I had that time dati na gano'n ako. Pero may mga times din na I really fail, which goes back to discipline. May mga time na, say, for example, if I'm not okay mentally because of some certain stuff, that let's say, for example, my master's thesis, may mga times na nadadala ko siya sa classroom where I need to be, on my best self. Pero ang nagpa-realize din sa akin na okay lang maging vulnerable ay yung mga students ko rin. So, ayun. So, compartmentalization, siguro, ano siya eh, it's about knowing if one area of your life will benefit the other area, and if it will not benefit, you can lessen yung effect ng area na yon sa life mo. So, say for example, relationships with academics, work with financial, some of those things, and also emotional things. But ang caution dito is na hindi ibig sabihin nun ay tatanggalin mo na yung area ng life na yon sa buhay mo. So let's say for example, if you are emotionally not stable at the moment, hindi mo naman sabihin, okay, hindi na ako magiging ano neto. So, it is okay to cry in between. Kaya siguro inilagay ni Ria dito yung healthy compartmentalization. It's perhaps being in the moment and at the same time acknowledging that you still have your emotions. So, if, let's say for example, nasa isang event ka, if you really want to cry or what, just go to the CR and cry there, then go back, be in the moment. And yeah, nakakatuwa rin to have some of my students comment this. It means that we are actually realizing things at this age. Yeah, UP is making us realize some shits. Okay, another one is from Emery. Emery EE. So Emily is one of my closest friends from senior high school up to now. So mag-invest ng tama, which is true, whether it's a career, business, or tao. Siguro investing talaga is really important. Not only in the money sense, na yes, some of us invest physical things like money to certain causes. Let's say for example, investing for your future and for insurance. So some of those things, those are physical, and it is important for us to also invest in our career, which is very good. Na I'm happy na inilagay to dito ni Emily na career, kasi you know what, I feel like if you do not really want the path that you are taking, it is better to shift dun sa gusto mo talaga. At ayun yung lagi kong sinasabi, even sa bunso naming kapatid, do not take a certain path. Dahil ayun yung gusto ng parents natin, or ayun yung gusto ng outside force. Even me. Sabi ko nga, hindi ko naman sinasabi na mag-business ka. Ganon. Like, wag kang mag-business kung ayaw mo talaga. Kasi ang ina-advise ko sa kanya is mag-business related course siya. Pero ang sinasabi ko sa kanya, at the end of the day, ikaw pa rin dapat gagawin mo yung mga bagay because gusto mo siya. And wag kang makikinig lang solely dahil dinikta namin sa'yo to or what. Pero I still give advice. And I'm happy then na actually kaming tatlo, sabi magkakapatid, we did not listen sa gusto ng parents namin, ng tatay namin to be specific. Like, my father wanted me to become a lawyer. My father wanted my younger sister to become a doctor. And police yata yung sa bunso. I don't fucking know. Pero, nakakatawa kasi walang sumunod sa amin sa kahit ano doon. Which means we really want to pursue things that we like. And in my case, it is science. And I really love theater, to be honest. And I feel like I really want to achieve that. Then someday, if may pera na ako to do so, to go and explore the creative side, my creative side, and make a career out of that, that will be good if ma-achieve ko siya. And yung kapatid ko, nandun siya sa arts as of now, and I'm really proud na she is taking that path na gusto talaga niya, which is multimedia studies, multimedia arts. And yung bunso, I don't know what will happen pa, pero I feel like papunta na siya sa track na gusto niya, which is entrepreneurship, business, economics, something on those fields. And of course, mag-invest sa business. Yeah, of course, some of us ay meron na talagang business stuff. Like, let's say for me, for example, I am starting a lot of things na business form. Let's say for example, you say it's called reviews. So we are seeing that we are reviving that actually. Kasi dati parang trip lang siya. Tapos, ayun, we have revived it now and I am seeing that long term na maging super duper business talaga. We are not getting a lot of traction. As of the moment, we don't have like a lot of customers pa. But I feel like in the future, that could be a good business then. Ayun. And of course, sa tao, ayan. So it is really important for you to invest time with people. So not only romantically, but even the people that you are retaining in your life. One of the things that I realized growing up is that as you grow older, nababawasan yung circle mo. And that is fine because you are being with the people that you feel like you have the same core values as yours. And that is good because nafi-filter mo kung sino yung mga feeling mo na magsistand talaga with you, that feeling mo that who will not betray you and who will not do things that will remove or shatter the trust that you have given them. So those are some of the things that you need to consider when you are, cutting off people. I feel like as we grow older, lalo na sa age natin so si Emily batchmate ko siya ng senior high school. Lalo na sa age natin, 25, 20, 24 pa lang yata si Emily. Pero yeah, anong tawag dyan? We are on that stage of life where we filter our friends. You cannot bring everybody forward. And that's the reality. There will come a time na mag-iiba yung interests nyo, na mag-iiba yung paths nyo. But then, I am saying this na hindi naman yung ika-cut off mo na talaga sila na, wala na yan, blah, blah, blah. You can still be civil, you can still be friends, pero you need to filter the closest people in your life. I feel like ayun yung gusto kong sabihin. Kung nagme-make sense man yan. Pero yeah, ah, hindi siya na-measure on the time, but on the quality that you have with these people. I have friends na more than a decade na, and I have friends na naging close na kami 2 years ago. But then, alam mo yun, parang the trust that you give to the people around you. So there are some people who you will trust more na kahit last year mo lang sila nakilala or last year mo lang nakilala. Something like that. So there sobrang multifaceted ng friendship and investing in the right people. So investing, hindi siya like super duper pera. Investing time, effort, and also the space of the mindset of being friends with them. Yeah, feeling ko mahalaga yun when it comes to friendship. If you will allot time, ang lagi nga na sinasabi, people do not actually have time. They just choose kung magbibigay sila ng time sa'yo. So, they make time for you. Ayan. So, that's a crazy realization. So, another one that we have here is from IC Log. IC Log. So, IC is one of my students as well. Sabi niya that it's okay to ask for help, that some people are actually willing to lend a hand and glad that they can help. Yeah. Considering then na I'm someone na parang ayoko talagang humingi ng help towards other people, I realized this the hard way na okay lang mag-humble down ng sarili mo and humingi ng tulong sa ibang tao kapag hindi mo na kaya. You are not a superhero na kaya mo lahat. UP made me realize this, no? Na you are a community. May mga ilang tao na may meet ka na parang feeling mo hindi sila willing tumulong. And that's okay. Meron din mga tao na tatanungin ka kung kaya mo pa ba, kailangan mo ba ng tulong dyan, how can I help? Just knowing that you are in the right circle and they are really willing to help is a big thing. It can boost your confidence, it can boost your morale towards, achieving some things. Kunwari, kung kailangan ko ba ng kausap. And I'm really fortunate to have those type of friends. When I was taking my master's, na gusto ba mag-walk tayo? And I know these people have a lot of things sa plate nila, pero they choose to, just help me by being there. Lalo na nung time na stress na ako. Then may mga friends lang talaga ako na, "O, tara, lakad tayo. Tara, let's eat, etc." And I really love them for that. Thank you very much. Second to the last na to. So this is Jace. Sabi niya that you are in charge of your overcoming of trauma. And totoo yon. One of my favorite quotes lyrics from Hamilton is that I am the one thing in life I can control. True rin naman na meron tayong mga traumas talaga that we are dealing with every day of our life. And we are in charge of how we will deal with those kinds of trauma. Let's say, for example, to just put it there, I was traumatized nung nag-master's thesis ako. I spent a lot of time, effort, and fucking money for that. And that's fucking true. My circle knows that. How will I fucking, move forward? Sobrang hirap niya to the point na I don't want to be in LB anymore. So with all of my resources, with all of my will, I really find that way to be out of there. Kasi parang ang daming flashbacks na nangyayari. And up to this day, I can fucking see that face wherever I go, even here in Manila. So I feel like I am still at the process of healing that trauma. We need to know that we are in charge of that sa process na yun. Na tayo yung nasa driver's seat. Hindi tayo yung nasa passenger seat. Hindi yung trauma yung nagde-drive sa atin, but tayo yung nasa driver's seat. Ayun. And the last for this vlog, for this video podcast, dahil hindi kasha dun sa type sa IG, piniem niya sa akin. So this is Barbs, one of my closest friends and one of my co-founders ng Isko Reviews. I tried thinking about what lessons I wished I'd learned earlier, but I can't really come up with anything. But then, I realized, for me, there's no one thing I wish I'd known earlier in life. The lessons I'm learning now feel like they're meant to happen right at this moment. If anything, it's about getting comfortable being alone and rethinking what really matters when it comes to friendships and where I put my energy. So I feel like this is a great ending of this podcast. Una, I would like to acknowledge in-acknowledge ni Barbs na everything that's happening now is meant to happen. 'Di ba? Na parang, okay, we need to live in the present and we need to realize things at the present. So, ayun. So, that's good. That's a great reminder. The second one is about getting comfortable of being alone, which is one of the things that I really appreciate as someone who is an extrovert. Lalo na nung nag-pandemic, ito yung struggle ko. Gusto ko talaga laging lumabas. Tapos, feeling ko, naging comfortable lang talaga of being alone nung nagma-masters na ako or after masters. Na okay, so ito pala yung feeling nun and I really felt that. Yung comfort lang na okay, nasa apartment lang ako tapos nagbabasa lang ako, nanonood lang ako, nag-TikTok lang ako, natutulog lang ako. Yung mga ganun na mga bagay. And mas na-appreciate ko siya actually. Because you will not appreciate your time with people if you do not appreciate yung time mo alone. Ayun yung feeling kong realization ko nung time na yun. Na hindi mo ma-appreciate how you really love being around people if you do not recognize the feeling of being alone. And ayun, rethinking what really matters when it comes to friendships and where I put my energy. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina that it is really important for you to know if these friendships that you have right now are friendships that you are really willing to put your energy on. Because that really matters, especially us as growing adults. Dumadami yung nasa plate natin as we move forward in life. So hindi na lang tayo dati na parang okay, aral lang, tapos nung nag-college ka, syempre aral, minsan may org, may mga commitments ka pa na iba. Then when you go working, syempre madaradagan na yung work mo, your time with yourself, some of the things that you are passionate about, yung mga bagay na yon. So dumadami yung nasa plate natin as we move forward. And yeah, so dapat alam natin how to manage our energy and how to know kung ano yung mga causes, sino yung mga people who deserve our energy. And sometimes it's not about wanting things to be different. It's about rolling with where you are and trusting it's all part of the process. Yeah. Ito yung siguro dito sa last sentence ni Barbs, dito ko ma-relate yung sinabi dati ni Lenny na the grass is not greener on the other side, but it can be greener where you are, something like that. Na in some context naman, it really works. Na okay, Sometimes kasi parang kailan ba ako makakaalis dito, kailan ba ako makakaalis dito, blah, blah, blah tayo, without recognizing that the grass can also be greener where we are right now. You know, na, okay, it's part of the process na, okay, siguro sa start, ganun yung ganap, pero it will be better soon kung nasaan man tayo. And I'm saying this to my fucking self because recently, ito yung nararamdaman ko. Huh? Hindi natin ma-appreciate yung process itself if we are thirsty about the fact of going out of that place. Ayun. Pero yeah, oo. Thank you, Barbs, for this. And it's really timely because recently, alam ni Edre ito na gusto ko nang umalis. Yeah, pero yeah, ano tawag dito? It's not about wanting things to be different. It's about rolling with where you are. Interesting that it's all part of the process. So now, thank you, Barbs, talaga dito. And yeah, I'm now trusting na itong lahat na nangyayari ngayon, ngayong time na to, na sinashoot ko yung video na to, it's all part of the fucking process. And yeah, ang ganda na ito. Like, hindi ko in-expect na ang tagal kong ipa-podcast to. Nakapag-reflect din ako sa mga reflections nyo. Una-una sa lahat, I want, unang-una, to end this, thank you very much sa lahat ng nag-send ng kanilang mga thoughts on this. I really love you guys. Thank you for taking that time to type all of these realizations. I really appreciate you. And yeah, napa-reflect din ako today. Thank you very much. I think that's it. Bye!